What's up, everybody? Welcome to Random TV Reviews. I'm your girl, Lynette.
I'm your boy, Stanley.
We're back with another week. For all of you new people, welcome. For all of the old people that came back, welcome back.
Welcome.
If loving you is wrong,
I don't want to be right.
the seasons are messed up on my dish, but I heard it was season 3, episode 3, called The Painter. It really should be called The 2-Minute Man, but we'll get into that later. So we start off with the scene where we have Kelly at the hospital watching over Alex. Because last week she got her to take her drugs, take her medicine. So now she's asleep, but she's been jerking in her sleep.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor comes in and was like, thank you for being a friend. She leaves out Espresso and, what's her name? I can't think of her name right now. Comes in.
Yeah.
They pretty much was like, how did you get her to take her meds? And they left. It was a pointless scene.
Yeah.
There's a pointless scene in the beginning with Eddie telling Lucian to stop asking questions.
Yeah.
Not going to talk about it.
Because I got eyes and ears, even though I'm not at the precinct. Pointless fire,
Pointless.
like Kevin Hart said.
Pointless fire. So, doctor leaves. Those girls come in. They leave. She's jerking. Alex is jerking. So I said, okay, she's about to go into this dream. So she goes into a dream of how all of this foolishness began.
Mm-hmm.
And in the dream, her and Brad had just bought this house. They were moving into the house. Their new neighbors, Marcy and Randall, come over to introduce themselves, welcome them into the neighborhood.
Yep.
And ask them, do you need any help moving? Small talk, yada, 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 yada. Brad, being the prideful man that he is like, I got it.
I got it.
Alice was like, he's never going to ask for help. Can you help us move this stuff in the house? So the women get to talking and come to find out at this time, they had moved into this house, Alex and Brad, to start a family. And Randall and Marcy were already there trying to start a family. So they were like, oh, we're going to have babies together and all of this good stuff. So they became really cordial, really lovey-dovey, boo-boo-boo, double date all the time, inseparable.
Going out, getting drunk, playing bowling.
My turn-up friends.
9. Yeah.
So they go on this one expedition where they went out to this restaurant to go eat. And that restaurant or bar, I couldn't catch which one it was.
Yeah, they went somewhere.
Tipsy.
Toe down to the flow down.
When they go to hug their goodbyes, Randall pats Alex on the butt.
Yeah, I said, oh, there it is.
Here it is.
There it is right there.
Then they had an episode where, and this is not in any particular order, they had an episode where they had went over to Randall and Marcy's for wine. Some wind-up music came on. They were doing it.
They were dancing and getting it in. Switch partners.
There ain't nothing that ever happened.
But nothing wasn't going on at that time, though.
No,
it was still all innocent. But
we don't. Who does that?
It kind of led up to, like she said, we not in a particular order, but one part it came up where she actually had caught them having sex because they both started having sex at 11:07, only on TV, and so Brad
was done at 11:09.
11:09, 2-minute man.
And I wrote the time down.
Give.
And at 1:15 a.m., Marcy and Randall was still getting it in.
So that's about 3 hours later.
Woo!
So she so happened to get out of bed. I don't know why she got out of bed and go. I thought she was going to the bathroom.
Because she wasn't satisfied.
So she got out of bed and she picked up the curtain and she saw them getting it in.
And she picked that interest. She was like, oh, that black man, good Lord. He throwing it down over there.
Randall looked and saw her looking, and he got up
and ran and
closed the curtains. That's where it all began.
It all began because she saw what he was working with and how he could work it.
Mm-hmm. After 2-minute man.
Yeah. So Randall comes over the next day and he was like, I'm so sorry that you had to witness this. And she was playing dumb like, da-da-da-da. No, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, I saw you looking at me, looking at you, having sex with my wife.
And she blushing the whole time.
Yeah. So at that moment, Randall is a psychopath, and he does psychology. So he's a psychologist. So
yeah,
he read into that whole entire thing, and he pretty much said, "Got him."
Gotcha. Cause when she was blushing, he knew he had her at that point anyway. When she was blushing,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the next night, Alice tiptoe out the bed, want to see it again.
Peep around her. Said, "Who that peeping in my window?"
Wow.
It said,
It was
Alice.
Alex.
It was Alice looking through there.
So she looking, they getting it in again. I said, God darn.
So now she intentionally looking.
Yeah.
Ain't no mistake no more. First time was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
All other times, that's what you wanted to get up and look.
Yeah. So then they started going through this timeline. Alice gets pregnant. You can obviously see that Marcy is upset because that was the plan. They were going to have babies together. Marcy ain't had no babies. Then we go a little further. She's pregnant with baby number 2.
Yep.
You can see that Marcy's not happy. And then there came a scene when Marcy came over to the house upset, telling her, I just came from the doctor and they don't know why I can't get pregnant and we're trying.
Yeah.
Heck, we saw that y'all been trying.
For 2 years straight.
Yeah, so she...
Humping and jumping.
Yeah, so Alice is trying to calm her. It was like, it will happen, da-da-da-da-da, I mean, she don't know what that feels like. She don't had her baby.
Had a couple
so,
babies, yep.
I don't even know why Marcy went to her with that, but...
Oh, they was good friends at that time, so...
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't no secrets at this point. It was pour your heart out, your best friend. So you
Right.
thought.
Right. But there was a part in there where Brad as a husband messed up. Where he was asking Randall, is this neighborhood safe? Because, I feel bad for leaving my wife here all day by herself.
Yeah.
When we have kids, I don't want her to be here by herself. And he was like, I work from home. So he was like, well, can you come over and check in on my wife?
Say, oh boy, you don't open the door. So if something do happen, he can say, oh, I was just over there checking on your wife.
Yeah, like you
he
told me to.
Yeah, so that was a door open right there. So it was all a setup the whole freaking time.
Yeah.
And Randall took advantage.
Then there was a scene where Randall came over. He's always apologizing to her because he was like, when we're out in public, my leg touches your leg a little too long.
And usually you move your leg, but the last few times you kind of left it there.
So are you feeling the chemistry that I'm feeling?
Yeah.
And she's in total just, what?
She knows, I don't know what you're talking about. It's nothing.
So things started to get weird between them two, and I would give them both credit that they tried to stay away from each other.
Yeah.
Marcy wants to hang out with her girl Alex, and Brad is like, I want to hang out. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's go bowling.
Let's go bowling. Come on, let's do it.
They trying to get out of it.
Yep.
He don't line up the babysitter, the nosy neighbor from last week.
Mm-hmm.
She was barely getting up them steps, y'all. Did y'all see that? So she comes over to watch the babies. They all have to go out together, forced to be together again. So the chemistry is just building. So Brad, what's her name? Alice was like, we can't go. I gotta paint.
I gotta paint tomorrow.
I gotta do this. I gotta do that because my parents are coming into town. So Brad was like, no. Marcy was like, Randall's a
good painter.
So, he can come and help you tomorrow.
And Brad said, yeah, perfect. He come and help you paint tomorrow.
And let's go bowling.
I said, oh boy, here we go.
So the next day, Randall and Alice is stuck up in that house together painting.
I got a problem with that though, because they were doing all that painting. I ain't see not paint on nobody's fingernails, nobody's hair, on nobody's shirt. They won't paint.
Not at all.
You messed that one up, Tyler.
When we paint, it'd be a mess.
Paint everywhere.
So at one point, they was like, it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. Not really, but so when she goes to heist the window up, she couldn't get it up. Randall goes behind her, kind of push up on her.
This how you do it.
And he goes in again talking about the chemistry that they have. She looks good for just having a baby. Mm-hmm. And he was like, from a physical aspect, nothing sexual, because I work out.
She's like, yeah, I know.
I know. Because she been watching him.
Yeah, he said, well, you've been watching me?
And she was like, so, there's a ringing on the doorbell.
Bing bong.
She goes downstairs. Ain't nothing but her racist daddy and mama.
Mm-hmm. Country too, boy.
Good God. And we live in Virginia.
Yeah.
That's country.
Yeah, see, you far south country.
I said, where the heck did they make him at? Because they don't make him like that real
Yeah,
yet.
and he come in criticizing.
Yeah, so he came in.
Who built this house? Like, I don't know. Well, who built the house? They
So he said, what they call it?
Built.
He said, you know them Russians do a whole lot of illegal stuff for money. This is like a mansion.
Yeah.
And she looked like she's scared to death of her daddy. He said,
she is.
he said, come give me a hug. But when she gave him a hug, he was like, he gave the church hug. I was like,
yeah, the pitter pat.
don't ask her for a hug and then give her the you got Ebola hug.
Yeah, see what he was doing, he was hating because you know they probably still stand one of them trailers. Them trailers you pull behind the truck.
Uh-huh.
Them portable trailers.
Ain't got no running water.
Uh-huh. Yep. Country to his heart.
Uh-huh. So he starts talking about the racial slurs against Brad. There's nothing for Randall to do but to come downstairs. One, why did he take his shirt off?
Yeah.
The window was already up.
Mm-hmm.
Give it some time, Randall.
But he know what he was doing.
So he come downstairs with his shirt off. And the daddy loses his mind.
Who is this come down the stairs?
Boy.
I taught you better than this. You know better to have with the darkies. It's like,
a darkie.
It's like, what?
And he said, you live in this neighborhood? You on welfare or something?
Like, player, if he was on welfare, he would not be in the community.
That's
welfare ain't enough to pay for that.
That's not true.
It is true.
It's not true. They could be on a voucher. I know people that live in better houses than ours on a voucher.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I take that back.
So,
roll camera.
So he was like, yeah, you on welfare? No, you should be in the fields. Ain't you supposed to be in the fields, boy? I was like...
And Randall getting pissed by the moment.
At that point, I thought Randall was going to snap his neck.
I thought he was going to punch between his eyes and knock his head off his head.
Yeah. So, Randall leaves. And he was like, don't you have my grandkids around? Nothing like that. I taught you better than that. Don't you even be around. And that was like... So she's looking at her mom like, Mom, are you going to try to,
Mama
bring this... I said, no, because he be beating Mama, because you can tell.
Yep.
Mama ain't say nothing. He was like, forget it. He threw his hat and
We go.
Go.
I'm like, so you came all this long way to see your daughter.
Get pissed off by a black guy.
Yeah, because they got a black guy in your house painting. Now all of a sudden you want to go home. Go! Don't want to see you no more.
Bye. Save me some grocery money.
Uh-huh.
So he leaves. And Alice feeling some kind of way about how Daddy treated Randall. So she goes out there. He has been working on this boat for years, as we can see. Yeah,
a long time.
So he's out in the shed. And she comes out there and she's talking about, I apologize. I'm nothing like my dad. It's just deep rooted. And he was like, yes, me and being a psychologist, I understand where it comes from. It's deep rooted.
Yeah, way long before you came to this area.
Yeah, so as long as you teach your kids how to do better, that's the only thing that I can ask you to do. So they get this chemistry going on between them again. And Randall said, touch me. She was like, no. He kisses her. She was like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
No, like how
I'm not ready.
No. Pineapples.
Yeah, pineapples. But he didn't know the secret word. And she was like, no, I'm married to Brad. I love Brad. And da-da-da. She pulls back, but she never stops touching. He said, stop touching me. And she just kept touching.
He said, yeah, you stop touching me.
And next thing I know, he was going
downtown. And she was, no, Randall. And wakes up in the hospital.
And Brad said, no, it's Brad.
I said, oh, crap. You would have a dream at that moment. He said, every time I think about forgiving you.
It's a reminder.
It's a reminder.
He said, when I saw your baby yesterday.
Yeah, not ours, but yours.
I knew that this was going to be a reminder daily. But guess what? That baby's going to be a reminder to you daily. Welcome to the hell that you just created. I don't know if that means he's filing for divorce or what.
I think he's going to stay and throw it up in her face every chance he gets. That's what I think he's going to do.
I think so too.
That's what he's going to do. Because he said he's going to make her life a living hell.
Yeah. But that was basically it. It was a good filler episode. Yeah,
to catch us up. Because it might have been some people probably saying, I wonder how I got to that point. So it is good to get some history on how they got to where they are now. So we see
playing
how it
contact
all
football and
started.
stuff.
But I don't know who the fault. I don't know the fault Brad or the fault Marcy. I don't know who the fault for the affair. But I mean, of course, it's their fault anyway. But who pushed who to who? So I
think they had a too trusting of a friendship among each other that no one detected that somebody was catching feelings. And actually, it was her curiosity because, like, her background was she's never been around black people.
Yeah.
She was very sheltered. And in so many words, she already had told Randall, I ain't never seen it done like that before.
Mm-hmm.
And we already see that her husband on the last 2 minutes, so he ain't had time to flip her over anyway.
Yeah.
So when she saw Randall going in, she was already interested. She was like,
I wonder what it's like.
Yeah, she probably was sitting there going, or something, you know. So, I mean, she was ready. I'm sorry.
Woo.
But
yeah, that's it. That's the episode. It look like,
no, I was going to say, we'll see y'all next week. Y'all, guess what we've been doing? Because it's been storming here in Virginia. Thank God that the hurricane passed us. But we've been watching Power.
Yeah, and it's off the chain. Oh my God.
We never watched Power until now, so we watched like a season and a half in like 3 days.
Yeah. So we almost finished season 2. So we thinking about maybe reviewing this next year because we heard it don't come on no more until like June of next year. But that's either here or there. But that's it for this, guys. Straight from the VA.
The dirty, dirty South.
Well, we keep it 100%. We give you 2 up.
We give you 2 down.
And she playing with hair that's on the paper. Holla.
It's my channel. I can do what I want.
But anyway.